Blues team is desperately missing someone like Lee Bowyer, Stephen Carr, Barry Ferguson, Robbie Savage. Someone who's just going to grab the game, get all the players rallied up and get you that win. To me, everyone just seems a bit passive. Welcome back to Small Heath Alliance FC. Last Friday, Birmingham City played Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough and were beaten 2-0 to a very underwhelming performance. And now it begs the bigger question, I'm going to put it to Dad right now, are we in a relegation battle?
Well, the honest truth is the league table don't lie. We're right down there. We're, just a few points above the relegation zone. In fact, actually, I don't know if you noticed the results at lunchtime on Saturday. All the results were going completely against us. Huddersfield were winning at Southampton. Queen's Park Rangers were beating Norwich. Plymouth were beating Sunderland. And if those results had stayed in that format, we'd have been 1 point above the relegation zone. And then thankfully, the results turned around. So anybody who thinks that we're not in a relegation battle is almost, it's just untrue. We were definitely in a relegation battle.
Yeah. And I think what you've just said is really important. So you've just mentioned 3 teams who were down at half-time and then come back and won the game. And I don't know about how you feel at the moment, but when Blues go 1-0 down, 2-0 down, I feel like the game's or not automatically over, but there's no fight or team spirit to get us back in the game to attack the team. Norwich are very experienced, Southampton very experienced, and fair enough. We're talking about teams here who are playoffs and possibly above here. So Southampton are definitely going to be in contention for that automatic place. Norwich are going to be in and around the playoffs. So we are talking top-tier championship teams. And I just watched the Millwall-Coventry game at lunchtime, and although Millwall went 1-0 up, you always felt Coventry were going to get back into the game. And when I watch Blues, I don't feel like we've got that leadership, that passion to get back in the game. I feel like when we go 1-0 down, our heads go so far down, it's such a hill to climb to get back into games, isn't it?
Yeah, and the difficulty is we're not scoring goals. That's the problem.
No, exactly.
If we go 1-0 down, it means we've got to score 2 goals to win the game, and we never look like doing that at the moment.
No.
Now, what was frustrating about the Sheffield Wednesday game, I'm sure most Blues fans would agree with this, we are getting more possession. We're getting more of the game, much more than we ever did under John Eustace. And that's a frustrating bit. And did you know that in the last 3 games, we've had nearly 60 shots and not scored a single goal?
57 shots we've had in 3 games.
Exactly, and not scored a single goal. Although, then if you break that down, for example, in the Sheffield Wednesday game, it was really frustrating. What was really frustrating for me was that in the first 15-20 minutes, we completely dominated that game, had loads of good chances. Sheffield Wednesday had 1 chance, took it up our end, and all he did was just flick it slightly across, and therefore the goal scorer was just waiting just to tap it in.
Yeah, identical goal to West Brom.
Yes, and does that tell us we got a problem that we can't defend our near post? And the second goal as well was so frustrating. The ball just comes down the left-hand wing, and it's not even a pacey cross that the winger puts over.
I know.
It's a looped cross over to the far post, and their player just comes in. Yeah. If we showed any of the passion that player did to head that ball in, we would score loads of goals. Absolutely. But unfortunately, it's just not there.
Yeah. So against Sheffield Wednesday, just to put some official stats out there, we had 63% possession. We had 25 shots. Quick question, how many of those 25 shots do you think were on target?
Well, I've got the stats in front
of me.
Have
you got it? Okay. So it was 4.
It was 4, yeah.
And that just shows to me a complete lack of quality in the final third. 25 shots, 4 on target. And I don't remember seeing many chances where I thought, genuinely we could have scored there. It was more, it felt like, you remember when I was a kid, Dad, and you come and watch me train, it was attack first defence.
Yeah.
But it was we were young, we were a bit naive, bad decision making, lack of quality in the final third. I feel like we're there at the moment with Blues. We've got no one who's going to take that game forward and get us that goal. And, a real big red light for me as well was the impact subs didn't have impact. He brought Miyoshi on, he brought Tyler Roberts on. And normally you bring these players on 60, 70, 80 minutes to make a difference in the game. And Paik as well, the new South Korean bloke, which actually I think didn't actually have a bad game coming on, but he's going to have to adapt to English football and adapt to the pace. There's a difference there as well. But for me, Miyoshi, Tyler Roberts, all the subs that came on were ineffective, and they were in Mowbray's Arsenal to come on and change the game, and that was a little bit worrying for me as well.
Yeah, Paik did well.
Yeah, he did.
He
had one cracking shot. I thought he was going to go straight in the side.
Yeah, and like Mowbray said about him, he's a very forward-thinking player, which is actually what he wants. What disappointed me the most was that we all get down when we lose games at Birmingham City. We all feel it, don't we? we? We actually feel it that we are losing. And what really disappointed me was that we lost to Sheffield Wednesday. They're a team in the bottom two. And they're not easy teams to play because they're right down there fighting for their lives. And
6-point games these are.
It was a 6-point game, but and also as well, I think what compounded it as well. This might sound silly, but I think it was because it was a Friday night game. In a Friday night game, if we're playing on Friday nights, those games are brilliant if you win them. But if you lose them, you're the only team playing that night. And therefore, if you lose on a Saturday, for example, you can say, well, at least Huddersfield lost or somebody else lost. And you can compare it and think, oh, maybe it's not as bad. But you've got almost like 18 hours to stew before the next load of fixtures.
Yeah.
But it really disappointed me. And I just felt that, it took a lot of, for me, it's a ruin my weekend.
100%. It's funny, as football fans, we wear our heart on our sleeves. We have so much passion. Yeah. And as Blues fans, our weekends get ruined quite a lot. if we're going to be brutally honest. Yeah. I mean, what was it? So we've had 3 league wins in 4 months. That is shocking, isn't it?
Is that right? I didn't know that.
3 league wins in 4 months.
Wow.
But you got to remember, we did have a spell under Rooney here. That was just an absolutely catastrophic time in the team's club. But that, to me, is a team on a trajectory. That's a relegation battle team right there, isn't it? Let's just call it what it is. However, what really worried me as well is our by the way, because it sounds like we're being really negative. We love the Blues. We love our players. But for me, even like Ethan Laird, Lee Buchanan, these solid players who have been really, really good all season, they seem to be a bit lacklustre. There seems to be a bit of passion missing there.
A bit of a shadow, really.
A little bit, yeah.
When obviously Ethan Laird first started the season, got injured very quickly. He was our best player. When Buchanan came in, it was brilliant. But I don't think it's all doom and gloom.
No, I don't think it is. No.
Because, I think people really raised eyebrows when they looked at the team sheet and saw that Hogan had been in, and no Stanfield. But then when you look at Tony Mowbray's explanation, I think he's trying to protect the lad. He knows that he's got 3 games in 8 days, and he knows he's going to play him. But also as well, when you think about the players that we've got to come back soon. We've got a Drama to come back. Sanderson to come back. We've also got Pritchard as well.
George
Hall.
Yeah.
Put all those in the team as well, alongside what we've got. I still think, there's a lot to be positive about because, the result wasn't what we wanted, but actually we're playing the type of football that if you put the ball in the net, you're going to score goals. 100%. You're going to win games. So,
and I said this in one of the other videos which we've recorded, and I think the Blues team is desperately missing someone like Lee Bowyer, Stephen Carr, Barry Ferguson, Robbie Savage, someone who's just going to grab the game, get all the players rallied up and get you that win. To me, everyone just seems a bit passive. Everyone doesn't seem fired up. Everyone doesn't seem raring to go. I think there's a light switch moment that needs to happen over the next few weeks. But if that does happen, I think we're going to be okay. I'm still optimistic. Let's just brush Friday off. If we can get 6 points from Blackburn and Sunderland, that Sheffield Wednesday Friday night kind of goes away, doesn't it? So, of course, and Blackburn, we've got to look forward. Sheffield Wednesday game was disappointing. We've got Blackburn on Tuesday. We have to dust this off. We have to move forward, and let's get that 3 points on that Tuesday game.
And that's what it's about, Matt. And it's about getting those points. It's only points on the board that counts. It's not how much possession you have. You could have 62% possession like we did, but unless that score at the end of the game says that Birmingham have scored more goals than the opposition, all that possession is pretty meaningless, really.
Yeah, exactly.
So I agree, and I think we've just got to keep going, keep moving forward, and actually believe in Tony Mowbray, because I do. I think I've got faith in him, and that he knows what he's doing, and I think that with a little bit of luck and a little bit more. Sort of thought. One final point, if you don't mind me making this,
course,
I don't know what you think about this. I don't think we have the luxury of playing both Dembele and Bacuna at the same time, because both players are flair players, and they can have that moment of magic where they can get 25 yards goal. But the problem is, if you look at both of them, they both make bad decisions.
Yeah. They're so frustrating to watch, the pair of them.
Yeah, they are. And if you want creativity in the team, I think, have one of them in the team. But I don't think that you have the capacity to have both of them, because effectively we need another player in there, and that could be a Pritchard, for example.
Yeah, I agree.
That is going to be more of a thoughtful type of make the right decisions.
And I can't wait for George Hall to come back, because I think he'll fill that gap, that kind of creative attacking midfielder there, just sitting in behind Stansfield. And I completely agree. Dembele, he's so talented, he's so flary, he's so fast, but he's so frustrating to watch. And so's Bacuna. Yeah. He's got the skills, he's got the flicks. But how many times have we been down St.Andrews and we are screaming, do the basics? Yeah. And it's so frustrating to watch. And me and you were at Norwich, Carrow Road. Bacuna came on, 5 minutes? He gave the ball away, Norwich went up and scored.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He does make these silly mistakes and decisions where it does leak goals through. And Dembele's similar, where he gives the ball away in the final third.
I think there's only room for one of those in the team.
And don't get me wrong, there's not many positives to take from the Sheffield Wednesday game. Let's just call it what it is. But I am going to pick 2 positives. One, I think Etheridge looked okay. He looked stable because obviously everyone was worried when Ruddy went injured. Fair enough. I know we conceded 2 goals. No goalkeeper wants to concede, and you could say that's a bad night. However, he looked okay. And to me, our set pieces look way better. We've been struggling to get over the first man in this season for some reason on our corners. Our set pieces have been pretty terrible.
100%.
But Dozal on those corners, I think, is doing a cracking job.
Yeah, Dozal. That's the one positive I picked as well. I mean, Dozal, he gave the ball away a few times in midfield, like a lot of players did. But on the corners, the amount of frustration we've had for corners over the season. So just get it past the first man.
I know.
Every single one in that game went over the first man. So
exactly.
That's a positive to say. But let's keep going. Keep moving on. I still think we're going to be okay. And there are even though that was a disappointing result, there's some really positive signs there as well.
No, I completely agree. And although that game was frustrating, there were a few little positives sprinkled in there. But what do you think? Do you agree with our opinions? Do you disagree with our opinions? What were your thoughts on the game against Sheffield Wednesday? Do you think we're in a relegation battle? Please let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content.